This conference will now be recorded.
So in today's session, we are going to discuss about the view state. We will see what exactly the view state, what is the use, what it contains, how can we see the view state information, how much data can be stored inside this view state. If I'm trying to store the more information inside that view state, then what kind of problems will get arised, what kind of exceptions will be getting arised, how to handle those exceptions, we see practically in today's session. First of all, we have to understand what exactly the view state. Okay, what exactly the view state. So let me explain the background story of this view state concept. For example, come to a general scenario. Assume that I'm done with my graduation. Okay, I'm done with my graduation, like as a BTech, and then now I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for a job. So whenever you are searching for a job, as a step one, as an initial step, first of all, we have to prepare our resume. Nothing but we should be ready with our CV. In that CV, we are mentioning all our details, our education details, past experience details, our technical strengths, everything. We are going to be exposing all our details. And once the resume has been prepared, once the resume is ready, then we need to place this resume in any one of the job portals. It may be Naukri, it may be Monster, it may be anything. Whatever the job portals that we have, in that job portal, we have to upload our profile. Because I want to make my profile to be visible to all the companies. I want to make this profile to be get visible to each and every organization which we have in the IT industry or anywhere. So for that reason, there is a common place called as job portals, where whenever I'm uploading the profile into the job portals, then job portals will be accessing by all the companies whenever they have any new vacancies inside their organizations. So this is one of the way where we can able to upload our profiles, which will be making our profile to be get visible to all the organizations. So we have to go to that any one of the job portal, we have to upload our profile. We have to upload our profile. But whenever if you want to upload the profile, first of all, we have to create it. Okay, you have to create an account. So we have to create an account first. We have to sign up. We have to be the registered member of this particular job portal. Then only we can able to upload the profile. From there, we can able to apply for the jobs also whenever if there is any new vacancies available inside that job portal, which suits your technical skills. So whenever if you want to create a new account inside this job portal, you will be having a sign up form. Okay, you will be having a sign up form. You will be having a sign up form will be available. So upon click on that sign up form, it is opening a user interface where we have to provide our details. So when you click on this sign up form, it is going to be providing a user interface like this. For example, it is providing the user interface. But here not only one user interface, we have multiple user interfaces are there which we need to fill up. So as soon as once you click on this sign up link, first of all, it is opening a form. Okay, it is opening a form over here. So now in this form, it is expecting your personal details. In order to create a new account, okay, in order to create a new account, whatever the details are required, all the details you have to provide inside this personal details form. It is opening this one. In this form, we have to enter all our details, like as our first name, last name, email ID, contact number, and then address information, username, everything. We have to enter all our details. But this is not only the form to create a new account. It is having some more forms are there which we need to fill up. It is expecting some more details also. For that one here, after entering these details, we don't have any submit button. Simply we have a next button is available. We have a next button. So upon click on this next button, okay, after entering the personal details, like as a first name, last name, email ID, contact number, address, username, age, gender, after entering all these details, it will be having a next button. So once you click on this next button, immediately it will be redirecting the user to the next form. Okay, it will be redirecting the user to the next page where we can able to enter our contact details here. It is opening that another form. So in this form, it is expecting some more details over here. Our contact details, like as our email ID, our phone number, mobile number, fax number, present address, permanent address, like that we have to enter all our contact details over here. So after entering this contact details, then it will be having a next button. Once I click on the next button, one more form will be getting open, where we need to enter all our education details in the chronological order. That means recently done education should be first. We have to enter all our education details, or post-graduation details, graduation, intermediate, 10th class, the whole information along with the university names, durations, technical skills, specializations, everything we have to enter all these education details form. After entering all these educational details, once you click on the next button, it is asking you to specify the experience details. Nothing but your past experience information. That means what are the various companies in which you have worked in the past. So we have to specify your company details, and then we have to specify the duration, your role over there, and your technical skills, what are the roles and responsibilities that you have performed, everything. We have to enter all the details inside this user interface. Along with that, we have to select the profile by using the choose file button, and then finally we'll be having a button control called as submit button. Okay, we have a button control called as submit button. Once you click on the submit button, then only a new account will be getting created inside the job portal with all these details. So that whenever if you want to create a Naukri account, you will be having so many forms are there which we need to fill up. Not only one single user interface, we have multiple forms are available. Okay, we have multiple forms are available which we need to fill up. Now, so in this case here, upon creating a new Naukri account or any one of the job portal account, not only one form, you will be having some multiple forms are available which we need to fill up. So we have to enter all the details over there. Okay, we have to enter all the details over there. So after entering all the details, so once you click on the submit button, then it is going to be creating a new account for you. And from there here, we can able to log in, we can able to update our experiences and education, we can all these things. Okay, whenever you change it. Now, so this is the basic functionality we have to do. Now, let me explain. For example, assume that I have clicked on that sign up form. After click on that sign up form, initially personal details form has been loaded successfully. So I have entered all the details inside my personal details form. So when you click on this next button, okay, when you click on this next button, it is opening the contact details form. Okay, it is opening the contact details form. Inside this form, we have to enter our contact details. Here also I have entered my contact details. When you click on next button, next form has been loaded. Here I'm entering my educational details here. All the education details I have entered. And then when you click on that next button, next form has been loaded successfully. Here I have entered my experience details, my past experience details, everything I've entered over here. Now, I need to click on submit button. So before click on submit button, first of all, I would like to cross check. I'm having some doubt. Maybe I have entered all the values or not. For that one, I want to go back to the previous form. I want to verify whether I have entered all the details or not. So for that one, we have a button called as back button. Once you click on the back button, it is going to be redirecting the user to the previous form, nothing but previous page. Now tell me in this case, now when you click on that back button, the previous form will be getting loaded. Now tell me, this form will be loaded freshly or it will be providing the details which have entered? It is providing the empty form or it is providing the form along with your details, our details. Yes, it will be representing that form along with your details. Now tell me how this form will be persisting your details. How this form will be storing your details over here. Because I haven't created any account as of now. I haven't submitted the details. My account is not yet created. I'm in the process of creating my account now. So how this form will be storing these details here? For that reason, in order to store your form details, between post-back implementation. Post-back means what? Posting the request to the Salesforce server, getting the response back from the server. Nothing but a request and reply. This request and reply process is called as post-back. Post-back means what? Posting the request, nothing but sending the request to the Salesforce server and then getting the response back from the server. This process is called as post-back. Okay. Now, in this case, as soon as once you click on the back button, now it is going to be making a request to the Salesforce server. Salesforce server is going to be identifying what is the previous form, and then it is loading the previous form. But upon loading this previous form, that means education details form, it is not loading that form freshly, it is loading the form along with the details which you have entered. Then how it is loading your details? Because of that view state, because of your view state. So what do you mean by view state? View state is nothing but an object. Okay, view state is nothing but an object which persists your form data between the post-back implementation. Okay, which persists your form data between the post-back implementation. That means whenever we are making a request to the Salesforce server, getting the response back, in this case, your data should not be lost. Because if the data has been lost, then the user can't enter the same data again and again and again. It's a problem. The people may not be having that much of patience to enter the same data again and again and again. For that reason, I want to make this data to be get persisted. How can we make it persisted? For that one, Salesforce is internally using an object called as view state. Then where is this view state information will be getting besides? View state information is available inside that Visualforce page only. View state information is available inside the Visualforce page only, but this is working like as a sleeping partner. It is working like as a sleeping partner which will be sitting behind the page. It will not be visible to you on the user interface. It will be sitting behind the Visualforce page. It's like as a sleeping partner inside the Visualforce page, which will be sitting behind the Visualforce page and which will be holding your farm data. So what are the details you have entered inside this text boxes, pick list, controls, everything, the whole data will be getting persisted inside this view state. Now, in this case, how can we define the view state? So view state is nothing but an object. Okay, view state is nothing but an object which holds your farm data between the post-back implementation, which will persist your farm data between the post-back implementations. Then how it is storing this information inside the Visualforce page, but how it is making it secured. It is not visible on the user interface. How it is possible? Because view state information will be storing inside your Visualforce page in the form of hidden fields. Okay, in the form of hidden fields, it will be storing this view state data. So now the view state data will be storing inside the page in the form of hidden fields. That means this is also a field, this is also an object, but this will not be visible to you on the user interface. It is sitting behind that Visualforce page, which will be holding your farm data between the post-back implementations. So we can define this view state as an object. Generally, we are storing the data inside an object. So view state is also an object which will hold your farm data between the post-back implementation. Whenever we are making a request and when you come back to the previous page, then at that time, whatever the data we have entered previously, the data will be getting persisted. So with the help of this view state. So view state is nothing but an object which will hold your farm data between the post-back implementation. So view state data will be storing inside that page. It will be sitting behind the Visual First page, but this will not be visible to you on the user interface. This will not be visible to you on the user interface because view state data will be storing in the form of hidden fields. View state data will be storing in the form of hidden fields. Now, in this case, what data will be available inside this view state? Inside this view state, what data will be available? Now, let me explain. When coming to the view state, so view state contains your farm data. That means whatever the data that you have entered inside this farm fields, all the data will be getting persisted inside this one. View state will be holding your farm data. Along with that, so behind this Visual First page, for each and every Visual First page, you will be having two parts, right, that already we have discussed. One is user interface part, second one is business logic part. For every Visual Force, you will be having two parts are available. Presentation part, nothing but user interface part, business logic part. That means you will be having the Visual Force markup, Visual Force controller. In this case, inside this Visual Force page, definitely it is having some controller class. In that controller class, we might be defining some variables. We are defining some objects. We are defining some collections also. In order to store the data, in order to manage the data through programming, we might be defining some variables, we might be defining some objects, we might be defining some collections which will be holding the data. So now those objects information, variables information, and the collections information also storing inside the view state. So view state will be holding your farm data. Along with that, it will be holding the controller class of variables, objects, and the collections. Whatever the data that you have stored inside this controller class, in that controller class, whatever the variables you have defined, whatever the objects you have defined, whatever the collections you have defined, that whole information will be getting persisted inside the view state. So view state is nothing but an object which holds your farm data along with the controller class variables, collections, and the objects information, which will be persisting inside this, okay, between the post-back implementations. Between the post-back implementations, it is persisting this whole information, so that when the user click on that back button, they need to enter that data again. It will be representing the previously entered data also. The facility is available. So now here in this case, can we see this view state information? Yes, we can see the view state information also over here. Okay, we can see the view state information. How? By using the page source, Now, in this case here, okay, now we can see that view state information also. Then how can we see that view state information? How to see this hidden fields information? I will show you practically now. Okay. So now here in this case, so now when coming to the view state, what exactly the view state? View state is nothing but an object which holds your farm data, your controller class variables, objects, and the collections information inside the page, okay, in the form of hidden fields, which will be persisting the data between the post-back implementation. The data will not be visible. That data will not be visible on the user interface, but that will be persisting inside that object, okay, in the form of hidden fields. So in this case, you can raise a question. So suppose, for example, whenever I'm requesting for a page, request will go to the server and the server is sending the response back. So now upon sending the response, it is providing the response in the form of HTML format. In that one, it will be having this view state also, right? Then if there is any hackers are available, those hackers can hack the HTML code, they can see that view state information also. Then what about the security? In this case, a view state is going to be storing this data. Okay, view state will be storing this data in the form of base64 encoding format. Base64 encoding format. That means to protect the security, to provide the security for your data, it is going to be encrypting this data in the form of base64 encoding format. Base64 is another, like as it is one of the encryption mechanism. Through this encryption mechanism, it is going to be converting the data into the base64 encoding format. Suppose if you want to see these classes, you will be having some ready-made classes are available. Inside your Salesforce instance, we have some ready-made classes are available which are used to convert the data inside the base64 encoding format over there. Now, so now here in this case, when you go to your classes, there you can able to see the base 64 encoding formats also. You will be having some ready-made functionalities are available. Like when you go to the classes, you will be having some ready-made classes called as encoding util. Encoding util that will be having base 64 encoding format, base 64 decoding format also. So that encoding utility, this is one of the ready-made class given by Salesforce. Inside this encoding utility, you will be having the various methods, base 64 encoding and base 64 decoding. So we can encode nothing but we can able to encrypt the data and we can able to decrypt the data also over here. That facility is available over here. So in this case, we are going to storing this information also. Now this kind of utilities we are using in the real time because to store. Because to store. Like for example, on the Sunday session, I have given one example on the integration part. On Sunday, we have discussed about one integration example that is on weather map. So now for this weather map, we have stored the details of the endpoint URL and the application key inside that custom setting. Suppose if somebody has opened that custom setting, they can able to see custom label, they can see that information, they can see that application key. Suppose if you want to protect that application key from the unauthorized people, then we can use this kind of encryption mechanisms. Through this encryption mechanism, we can convert that in application key, that means a secret key, in the form of some another format so that other people can't understand. Like that, we can able to encrypt the data. Or else if you want to use some another classes, then we have a class called as crypto class. You will be having the cryptography. Cryptography means what? Encryption decryption mechanism comes under cryptography. So as part of this cryptography, we are going to be encrypting the data and decrypting the data over here. So for that one, we are having encrypt and you will be having decrypt methods are also available ready-made. So that here we can able to use this crypto class also in order to encrypt and decrypt the data so that we can able to protect the data from the unauthorized people. Even though the hacker people might have hack that information, but they can't see the actual code. They can't see that actual code over here. So that we can able to protect the data from the unauthorized people also. That facility is available to you. So now, in this case, whatever the data has been placed inside this view state data will be persisting inside the Visualforce page in the form of base 64 encoding format over here. That means it is encrypting the data. It is converting the actual data into another format. So by using base 64 encoding format so that other people can't understand. Even though the hacker might have hacked your data, they can't see that information. Now, so in this case here, how can we see that the view state information? How can we see the view state information? Let me explain that. Now. So if you want to see that view state information, then we can go to that view page source. Like for example, assume that I'm having a Gmail application. For every application that already we have discussed that in our initial classes, whenever we are going to be executing a Visualforce page, whenever you are executing any Visualforce page, each and every Visualforce page is having an execution life cycle. Every Visualforce page is having an execution life cycle is available over here. So now upon executing the Visualforce page, at the final, it is going to be converting the result in the form of what? HTML format, because it will be executing that page code and it is going to be collecting the result. Result will be collecting in the form of HTML format. That HTML format of information will be sending back to that browser so that we can able to see the result here. This is the process, you know that. Now in this case, this HTML format will be holding your view state information, because application server is sending the response in the form of the HTML format. So in that HTML content, we can see this view state information also. How to do that? Now let me show you. For example, I'm logging into my Gmail application. So now this is my Gmail application. So whenever I'm logging into my application, it is loading this page. To load this page, it is going to be executing that. It is using one application server, right? Like as our Salesforce, we are having an application server. Like the similar way, Gmail is also having a application server. which has validated my credentials. It is preparing the response, and this response has been sent to me in the form of HTML. That HTML content is visible to me inside my browser. So now to prepare this user interface, to prepare this response, it might have prepared some HTML code, because every application is sending the response in the form of HTML format. If you want to see this background code, the thing but to design this user interface, to display this whole images, information, everything, what is the HTML code it has generated by that Google application server? If you want to see that, just you can go to that Gmail application, release the right mouse button here. Click on the right mouse button and release it. You will be having an option called as view page source. There is an option called as a view page source. That means in order to prepare this page, what is the source? What is the HTML code generated by the application server? I want to see. Click on this view page source. We can see that page source information also. So now this is the HTML code which has been generated by the Google application server to prepare this user interface. Let me take this code. Let me copy this one. I'm pasting inside my notepad. So this is the HTML code which has been generated by the Google application server in order to prepare that information. To prepare this user interface, okay, to prepare this user interface, in the background it has generated this much of HTML code over here. Okay, this much of HTML code. This is the HTML code starting with HTML. Okay, header tag is available, title tag is available, Gmail. Okay, like that it is having that whole information is available inside this. Now inside this HTML code, it will be having the view state. How it is storing this view state in the form of hidden fields? How can we verify that hidden fields? Now I'm searching for that information. I'm searching for that information. Type equals to hidden. I'm searching for the information. Type equals to hidden. So we can verify that. Here it is having that information. There is a matching. So now input type equals to hidden. Okay, name equals to, it is having this information. Okay, it is having this information. Okay, it will be having this information is available. Now, along with that, we can specify. Now, so now here in this case, we can able to store this information in the form of hidden fields. Now, let me place that. Now, observe this one. It is having this hidden fields are available. Input type equals to hidden. This is a hidden field which will not be visible on the user interface. Name of this field is get. And the value is, this is the value here. Now tell me, are you able to understand this value? No, I can't understand this value. What exactly the value is, I don't know. So that what happened, view state is going to be persisting your form data, okay, in the form of base64 encoding format. Okay, base64 encoding format over here. So in this case, whatever the data has been prepared, whatever the data you have entered inside this form fields, the data will be collecting with the view state. It is storing the data in the form of hidden fields. So now that too, to protect the data from the unauthorized people, it is going to be preparing that data in the form of base64 encoding format. So here in this case, even though I'm able to collect that hidden field, I can't decode this information. I can't check what exactly the value it is. I don't know this one, because it is in the encrypted format, so we can't understand what is this format over here. Now in this case, what happened, for each and every application you will be having this separate view source. Now when you go to the Salesforce also, okay, release the right mouse button, click on view page source. Here also you will be having some view source will be available here. Now let me copy this. This is the HTML format of code will be generating by the Salesforce application server. This is the HTML format of response. Like it is also starting with HTML. Okay, starting with HTML. Class equals to empty, style they have provided, head provided, and the title information, like as home page, Salesforce Developer Edition, title information, everything they have provided. Here also you will be having some information. Type equals to hidden. You will be having some information will be available over. Okay, type equals to hidden. In that one also we can able to store some information as well. Right. See, so it is indicating the view state information. So now type equals to hidden. It is having that ID equals to com.salesforce.visualforce.viewstate. In this viewstate, what information is available now? Let me copy this one. This is the ID, this is the name, this is the value. Okay, value starting from here. Now let me show you. Let me copy this information up to that view state part. Now up to this part here. This is the view state information. Now tell me, in this view state you are having the value. This is the value. Now tell me, are you able to understand this value? No, we don't know, because this is in encrypted format. Whatever the view state information is available, this view state information is encrypted in the another format here by using base64 encoding utility given by Salesforce. So in this case, what happened between the post-back implementation, whatever the farm details are available, the whole data, okay, the whole data which will be encrypting into the base64 encoding format here. But even though the third-party people, the hacker people might have hacked with this information, but they can't understand my code. They can't understand this data here because it is persisting the data. Okay, it is persisting the data in the form of base64 encoding format. Now, in every page, in every form, okay, in every page, you will be having the whole details. Now, let me go with another format here. Let me go with another application. We can raise a question. So, suppose, for example, I'm having a secured application like as banking. Okay, banking application. So there also that will be executing by an application server, right? Yes. There also it is going to be generating some view source, right? HTML format, right? Yes. So in this case here, if anybody has hacked that information, what about this? What about my data? Because in my bank application, I'm having my bank details. My phone number is there. My balance amount, my credit card details, my loan details, everything is available. Then what about the situation? Now let me show you in this case. So let me log into my bank application. For example, I'm using that my banking application right now. I'm logging into my bank application. I'm logging into my banking application right now. So now here I'm having my bank application user interface is available. Here I'm having all my details. My account details are available. My statements are available. My loan details, my credit cards information, everything is available here. Now, in this case here, to generate this user interface, now the banking application server is providing some HTML code, right? I want to see that code. Like here for my Salesforce, here simply how release the right mouse button, click on view page source. I can see that. Now let's go to the bank application. Here also it is having the view state. Now right click on this one here. Once you click on the right click, it is indicating that due to security reason, right click is not allowed. That means here, whatever the secured applications are available, banking applications, financial applications, or it may be pharmaceutical applications, which are having some complex business logic, which is having some secured codes are available, so that to protect that code, to protect the details from the unauthorized people, they are going to be disabling that right click option inside your application. When you click on that right click, it will not be work. Okay, it will not be visible to you. You can't see that view sets because it is having so much data. My account numbers are there. My loan details are available. My credit card details are available. Everything is available inside this. So this is very, very confidential data. It is very secured information which should not be disclosed to the people. If somebody is going to be hacking that information, they can misutilize your data as well. So to protect the data from the unauthorized people, it is going to be protecting the data, okay, by disabling that right click options over. Okay, disabling right click option. You can take any banking application, also try with your own. So now when you click on that right click, it will be giving that message. Okay, due to security reasons, right click is not available. Okay, now. So in this case over here, in this case, what are the secured applications are available? For those secured applications, it is going to be disabling this right click options over here. It is disabling that options over here. So now in this case, okay, now here in this case, that means what? View state is what? View state is nothing but, okay, an object. Okay, view state is nothing but an object which contains your farm data. Okay, which contains your farm data between the post-back implementations. That means whatever the data we have entered inside the farm, what are the controller class variables information, objects information, collections information, the whole information will be getting available, okay, inside that view state. So view state data will be getting persisted, okay, in the form of base64 encoding format in order to protect the data from the unauthorized people. From the unauthorized people, we can able to protect that information. For that one, the data is going to be encrypting in the form of base64 format, even though the hacker people might have hacked your information. So, but those people can't understand the actual code, so they can't decode that information, they can't misutilize our data. So for that reason, when you go to the banking people and the banking applications or the financial applications or insurance application, those people are going to be completely disabling that, the right click options over there. Now, in this case, when coming to my application also, how can we store? So how much data can be accommodatable inside this view state here? When coming to the view state can have, the view state can have the maximum size is 135 KB. 135 KB. View state maximum size can be 135 KB. For every page, it is maintaining the view state. Suppose if I'm having some 4 pages are available, every page will be having its own view state is available separately here. Because this farm details will be storing inside this view state, this farm details are storing in this view state, this farm details are storing in this view state, this farm details are storing in this view state. So that here, each and every farm data will be getting persisted inside a separate view state. Now, so now here in this case, each and every view state update can be able to hold maximum of 135 KB of data. Now, let me show you for example here. Previously, we have used the design one user interface. We have used the user interface called as to set the account records here. For example, I'm searching for some account records, UN, click on search accounts. I can able to see these results here. This is the form that we have. In this form, we are having some fields, nothing but the text box. What are the data we have entered inside this text box? Now this is the data we will storing inside the view state. Along with that, for this particular Visualforce page, there is a background business logic is available. There is a controller class. In this controller class, what are the variables we have defined? And what are the objects we have defined? What are the collections we have defined? This whole information will be storing inside that view state only. So that view state contains your farm data, your controller class variables information, objects information, collections information will be getting resides inside that view state over here. Now, so now here in this case, so now it will be storing this whole information inside this view state. Now, so now whenever we are storing this whole information, because this collection is having what? Records. What records? Searching records. These are the 4 records we have collected through SQL query stored inside the collection. So these 4 records are also storing inside that collection. This collection is storing inside the view state. So now that collection can able to hold, okay, it will be holding more records also, but ultimately collection will go into the view state. Okay, collection will go into the view state. Now, in this case, how much data can be accommodatable inside the view state? So, view state can able to hold maximum of 135 KB. It's a common question in every PD1 certification in the entry point of view also. So, what is the maximum capacity of view state? How much data we can accommodate in the view state? View state can store maximum of 135 KB of data, not more than that. So now in this case, you can raise a question. Suppose when you try to store more data, then this size will be getting exceeding. At that time, what will happen? It is going to raising an exception. It is raising an exception over here. It will raise an exception. View state maximum size has been exceeds. It will raise an exception. View state maximum size has been exceeded, so that it will be terminating your page. It is giving some exception message to you. It will terminate your page. It will be giving that exception to you over here. Now, in this case, how do we know? Okay, how do we know? So now how much data has been occupied? How much memory has been occupied by my Visualforce page? How much data is stored inside that view state? What data is there inside the view state? Which collection is occupying how much memory? Which collection is occupying more memory from that view state? I want to track. I want a tracking mechanism over here. Based on the tracking mechanism, I can decide which collection is occupying more memory space inside the view state so that I can take some actions. So now here in this case, what we can do? Okay, now let's see practically in this case. Now let's see practically in this case here. So I want to see how much memory has been occupied for my Visual First page over there. So if you want to see that view state information, okay, for this particular Visual First page, we have to enable a option. We have to enable a permission. In order to see the view state information, we have to enable the feature. We have to enable a feature called as show view state in development mode. Show view state in development mode. We have to enable this option over here. Where is this option? I would like to show you here. We have to go to your name. Okay, click on go to your name and expand it. Click on my settings. Click on my settings. And from there, okay, click on my settings. And from there, go to the personal option in the left panel. Inside that, you will be having an option called as advanced user details. Advanced user details link. In that one, we will be having an option. There is an option is available here. There is a checkbox that is called as show view state in development mode. Okay. Show view state in development mode. Please enable this checkbox. Now this navigation already you know. Okay, in order to create the Visual First pages, we are using development mode checkbox. Below that development mode checkbox, you are having this checkbox again. Okay, below the development mode checkbox, you will be having one more checkbox, show view state in development mode. Okay, these are the checkbox you have to enable in order to see the view state information for the tracking mechanism. Generally, nobody will discuss this all these things. Simply, they will tell you what is view state and how much data it will store. That's it. But when you go to the real time, this is a common problem every developer will face. It's a common problem every developer will face. So that here you should be able to understand this whole meta functionality and then this entire tracking mechanisms also. Now, you should be aware of this entire mechanism. Now, so now for my Visual First page also, behind this it will be having some view state. Then how much memory it has occupied, I want to know. So for that reason, here we have to enable that view state information. Now tell me here, before enabling that view state option, now let me show you. Here, how many tabs are available? This is one tab, this is another tab. This is the Visual First page code, this is the business logic page code. That's it, two tabs are available. Let me enable that view state option. How to enable, let me show you. So now, go to your name and then click on my settings. Click on my settings. Go to the personal in the left panel. Click on advanced user details link. Here you will be having one small checkbox is available that is called as show view state in development mode. Okay, this is the checkbox. Show view state in development mode. There is a checkbox is available over here. But this checkbox is in disabled state right now. This is in disabled state right now. This is not yet enabled. This is available behind this, okay, below this development mode checkbox. You know development mode checkbox, how to enable. Below that only you will be having this option. I want to enable this checkbox over here. So click on this edit button. Click on this edit button. Select that checkbox, show view state in development mode. I'm selecting the checkbox, show view state in development mode checkbox. Now click on save. Now, so let me close this screen. Let's go to the user interface of your Visual First page, refresh this one. Let's see what will happen. Now, so now tell me how many tabs are available now? 3 tabs. Here we are having the Visual First page tag, nothing but here the code, user interface part code, and the controller class is available. And here you will be having one more tab called as view state. View state tab has been enabled over here. Okay, view state tab. Okay, by using this view state tab, we can able to track that how much memory will be occupying here for this page. Now, for example, I'm searching for some information. I'm searching for some characters. So now this variable is having this particular characters UN, and this collection is holding this of 4 records over here. How can we track this one? Now click on view state. Now here we can able to verify that how much memory it is occupying over here. Now, so now for this particular Visual First page, this is the Visual First page. For this Visual First page, how much memory has been occupied inside the view state? It is indicating the size. What is the size? 4.36. That is in terms of KB. Okay, because that already told you view state maximum capacity is 135 KB, not more than that. So now in this 4.35, that means for this Visual First page, to store this farm data, nothing but to store this variable and to store this collections information, it is occupying 4.36 KB of memory here. Then what it contains inside this, we can able to track. Here you will be having the expand option is available. You can keep on tracking that. Keep on track here. You will be having that page. You will be having the state information inside this. Expand this state. It is having a controller class. When expand this controller class, this is the controller class is available here. Set records controller class. This is the class name. In this class, what we have, when you expand this class, it is indicating this is the variable. Set text. What is this variable? This variable is of type string. What it contains, it is containing the value. What is that? Okay, UN. Nothing but this is having the characters UN. So now in this case here, to store this one, how much memory it is occupying over here? 0.17 KB of memory. And then after that, we are having this collection. Okay, after that, you will be having this collection is available here. LST accounts. That means how many records are there? 4. This is of type what? List of account. What records are available? I want to see. When I expand that, we can see 0, 1, 2, 3, totally 4 records. What is this 0, 1, 2, 3? This is nothing but the index position, because this is the listic collection. Listic collection will be holding the elements in the form of index position. So now this is the ordered collection, which will be identifying each and every record by using that index position, which always start from 0. This is the practical proof that listic collection is having the index starting from 0. Okay, this is the practical proof that we can show them. If anybody ask you the question, so what is the guarantee to me that listic collection is starting the index from 0? This is the practical proof. You can go to that view state and you can able to track. So now this is one account record, 0, nothing but index of 0, nothing but one account record, index of 1, second account record, index of 2, third account, fourth account. In this account, what records are there? I want to see. When you expand that, you can see that information. This is the account record ID, account record name, rating value, industry, annual revenue, phone, fax, type, ownership, active status. This is the first record information. Like the expand that one, we can see the second account record information. This is the second record. We can expand the third record information, fourth record information. Like that, we can able to track. So now here we can able to track this mechanism also. How much memory will be occupying by each and every collection, each and every record, each and every variable. We can able to track by using this enabling that view state. It is a very, very common requirement in the real time. Generally, nobody will discuss in the classes. Okay, but when you go to the real time, this is very, very important. Of course, we may not face that problem in the development stage, but whenever we are going to be moving the code to the production, upon using the code inside the production by our customers, then definitely it will raise the problem. Because upon searching for some data, it will return thousands of records also, lakhs of records also will return. But upon storing all those lakhs of records inside the view state, that 135 KB may not be sufficient. Then it will raise the problem here. So now view state size maximum 135 KB has been exceeds. So now it will be terminating your application abnormally. So then they will be raising a production issue. Okay, we have to resolve that. We need to identify. So now which collection is occupying more memory over here? Okay, which collection is occupying more memory? We have to track by using this view state, enabling that view state in the development mode option. So we have to enable this view state in the development mode, then we can able to track. Then how can we solve this problem? Suppose, for example, I'm having some 10 collections are there inside my controller class here. 10 collections are available. All are listed collections. From that one listed collection is occupying more memory because of that it is exceeding the size 135 KB. That 135 KB size is not sufficient for me. So in this case, it is causing some issue. Then what we can do? How can we handle this kind of problems? How can we solve this problem here? Simple concept. Simple general concept only, nothing different. For example, assume that I'm having a lift. In our apartments, shopping malls, you will be having a lift. Assume that there is a lift. So now this lifting capacity is 4 people. Okay, lifting capacity is 4 people. For example, it is having like a some 350 kgs. 350 kgs. So now today I'm entering into the lift because I want to go to some upstairs. Okay, 3rd floor, 4th floor, whatever. So 4 people can accommodate inside this. So now I'm having few people are available. One person has entered into the lift. Lift door has been opened. Immediately, one person has been entered into the lift here. The first person. And then one more person also has been entered into the lift. Second person. Third person also has entered into that lift over here. Okay, now. So 4 people can accommodate maximum. So now the 4th person, a fat person has entered into the lift over here. Okay, a fat person, a very big person over here. He is also entered into that lift over here. He has also entered into the lift. Whenever he is entering into the lift, it is giving that overload symbol. It is indicating that overload. Lift can't work because it is exceeding that size, it is exceeding that weight 350 kgs. Lift capacity is 350 kg only, but here we are having some 400 kgs. So now 3 people are having that normal weight, one person is having huge weight. He's a very fat person. He's a very tall guy, he's a very fat guy. Now, so now here in this case, here what we can do? In this case, we are requesting to that fat person, boss, you are having some more weight because of that it is lift is giving like as overload symbol. So please go outside, you can come in the next step. Okay. So now once we go to the upstairs, then you can come in the second time over there. Then we are requesting that people. That means what we are going to do, we are going to be eliminating this person over here. Okay, we are eliminating this person from the lift so that it doesn't have any overload problem. So that lift can work normally as usual. Like the similar way, whenever I'm going to storing some data, whenever I'm going to be having some collections inside my controller class, if one collection is occupying more memory, because of that memory, if the view state exception is getting raised, then we have to inform to Visual Force page, boss, this is the collection which is having some more records, which is occupying more memory inside the view state. Because of that, it is causing some exception. View state size has been exceeded. So please don't allow this collection to store inside the view state. Okay, please eliminate that collection from the view state. Please don't allow to store that collection data inside the view state. We have to inform to that Visual Force page. So whatever the way we are following in the real world, same concept, nothing different here. We are requesting to the people, boss, please go outside. So please come in the next step here. Nothing but like as the next time. So let me go to that upstage, then you can able to come in the second time over here. So like the similar way, we are informing to that Visual Force page, boss, this is the collection which is occupying some more memory because it is having more records are there inside that, because of that it is going to be crossing the view state size. View state maximum size has been exceeds 135 KB, so that my page is going to be giving some overload symbol. My page is going to be terminating abnormally by giving some exception message like as view state maximum size has been exceeds 135 KB. Then in this case, we have to inform to the Visual Force page, this is the collection which is occupying some more memory. How do we know this collection is occupying more memory? We have to go to that view state tracking mechanism. Go to this view state tracking mechanism. Here we can identify which collection is occupying more memory. We have to inform to the Visual Force page, this is the collection is occupying more memory. So please don't allow this collection to store inside the view state. So that view state size will not exceed, it will not give any issue, my application will run as it is. Then how can we inform to the Visual Force page, please don't store this collection data. For that one, whatever the collection that we have to define that collection with the help of a keyword called as transient. Define that collection with a transient. Whenever we are defining the collection with the transient keyword, this transient keyword is going to be informing to the Visual Force page, this is the collection, please don't store inside the view state. please don't store this collection data inside that view state. So how can we inform? Now let's see here. We have to use a keyword called as transient keyword. So just to go to that controller class, for example, I want to define this collection as transient. So public transient. Okay, public transient. Okay. Now make it as transient. That's it. Whenever I'm going to be defining this collection as transient or variable as transient, then that variable or that collection data will not be storing inside the view state. Okay, how to avoid the view state problem? By making that collection as transient. So whatever the collection is there, which is occupying some more memory, that collection we can define with the transient keyword, so that that collection data cannot be storing inside that view state. Okay, now, so in this case, we are using the help of the transient keyword over here. So that's what from the SQL query from the beginning, keep on I'm telling you, there is a best practice. Don't fetch the unnecessary columns information through SQL query. Through SQL, don't fetch the unnecessary columns information. Please fetch whatever the columns are required. Because what will happen if I'm collecting the data, what will happen? The data will store inside the view collection. Collection will go into the view state. View state is having very limited size. Because of that, view state exception will be getting arised. So to avoid those kind of problems here, don't fetch the unnecessary columns information. Please fetch only the required columns information over there. Okay, so for that reason here, okay, for that reason always we have to write the best, we have to follow the best practices. So now let's see here. I'm going to be defining this collection as transient. Now let's search this information. Now click on search, we can able to see the records. Now let's see what is the view state. Now this is 3.72. Previously what 4.36. Now the view set size has been reduced. Because of what? Because I have defined this collection as transient. So that collection data will not store inside the view state. So let's see. Expand this one. Click on that state. Controllers. This is the controller class that we have expanded. We will be having only variable, no collection. Because this collection we have defined as transient, so this collection data will not be storing inside the view state, so it won't occupy the memory, so that it will not be causing the issues. This is how we are going to be solving the view state problem. That's what here always we have to make our user interface lightweight. Don't put some more load on your application. Don't put your more load on your user interface here, because it will be causing some view state exceptions also. Okay, so in this case, whenever we are going to be having more number of collections, please test properly. Okay, please test properly with the different options and then verify that whether it is occupying some more memory or not. So now, because it will be causing some view state exceptions, so that here always we have to resolve this problem. Whatever the collections are occupying more memory, that collections data we can able to make it as transient. So this transient means now this collection data cannot be storing inside that view state. This is one way, transient. Second way is the best practice is don't fetch the unnecessary columns information. Here I have written some more columns information also over here. Like as ownership column also have collected, but I'm not representing on my Visual Force page. Then in this case, don't fetch this unnecessary columns information. Okay. So in this case, we have to follow these kind of best practices in order to avoid this view state exception. So view state is nothing but an object which contains your farm data, which will be persisting your farm data between the post-back implementations. So view state contains your farm data, your controller class variables information, objects information, collections information in the form of base64 encoding format. In the form of base64 encoding format. So view state maximum size is 135 KB, which will be persisting your data inside that Visual Force page in the form of hidden fields, okay, by using that base64 encoding format, so that we can protect the data from the unauthorized people. And then whenever you are facing any problem with the view state, then we have to enable that view state in your development mode. We have to track that which collection is occupying more memory, and then we have to make that collection to be doesn't available inside that register. That means please inform to the Visual Force page, please don't store this collection data inside the view state, so that we should not have any view state exception problems. This is how we are going to be enabling the view state inside your Visual Force program. Okay, this is a very, very common question, 100% common question. Without this question, there is no interview at all. You may be experienced, you may be fresher also. Without this question, there is no interview at all. Definitely, they will be raising this question in the interview point of view. Okay, now. So this is the concept of view state. And we have few more features are available. We'll see these features in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow, I'm planning to take up a long session. Okay, a 2.5 hour session, 7 to 9:30, so that we can able to discuss some more features also.